Welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and this is Jen Clayton Beauty. We do everything beauty and makeup, and that includes testing new makeup. I have so many testing new makeup videos coming out for you in February and March, just playing catch up from advent calendar season, decluttering in January. So there is a lot of new makeup that we need to test out. 5 new makeup products to test out with you today. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on, because like I said, I have a lot of videos coming your way. Down in the description box, I will link everything that we tested out today. Thank you in advance for using my links. It definitely helps support my channel. Discount codes, all that information will be at the top of the description box, along with my favorite beauty subscriptions, all of the other makeup that I'm wearing today if you would like to shop this look, discounts to my favorite indie brand, and come follow me over on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. So let's talk about the 5 new products we're testing out today, then I'll zoom you in and we'll get started. Products either came in beauty subscription boxes or they are makeup products I purchased myself. So I'll let you know as we're going through them where I acquired them from. So let's go ahead and start with this Ciate London Extraordinary Translucent Setting Powder. This is it right here. Now this is the powder that I use today. So I'm going to give you some first initial thoughts on this powder. I believe this came in my Ipsy for January. And then I've got the Ofra Midi Palette in Blossom Blush. Now this is a little 3-pan blush highlighter palette. Now, as far as Ofra goes, it is not my favorite brand. They do not make my favorite formula of eyeshadow at all. However, sometimes their blush products are nice and their highlighters are always really beautiful. This also came in my Ipsy subscription box, and this is in the shade Blossom. We've got a brighter pink blush, a lighter pink blush, and then a really pretty glittery, a really pretty white pink based highlighter in the middle. There is no mirror in the palette, and like I said when I unboxed this packaging is way cheap compared to the normal Ofra packaging. I think they just scaled it back when they put it in the subscription box. Now, swatching this little blush palette, highlighter, absolutely beautiful. 2 blush shades. This pink one right here did not swatch very well. They feel really dry when you touch them. So I'm very interested to see how these apply to the skin. I purchased this off of the Natasha, off of Ipsy in an add-on because it was like $12. This is the Natasha Denona Pastel Plexi Glow Highlighter. Now this retails for $42. And like I said, I added it on to my Ipsy box, I want to say for $12. Now the packaging of this is really nice. The highlighter is really pretty. It looks white in the pan. Now there was a lot of discrepancies with this highlighter when it was released because the campaign photo showed that it was multicolored, like pink and green and white. Now if I shift it just right, I see a little bit of pink, gold, and green, but it looks pretty much white. And then when you swatch it, it's kind of gold leaning. So I don't know how I feel about it. I will say right off the bat, I'm really glad I didn't pay $42 for it. That is ridiculous. Now I'm interested to see how this applies to my skin. Is it going to sink into my skin, sit on my skin? It's going to be quite interesting. And then I also have these 2 pencils from VC. Now these also came in my Ipsy subscription box. These are 2 eyeliner pencils. They've got a smudge tip on the end, and then we've got a black liner and a multi-chrome liner. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch these. So here they are swatched. I already have some thoughts. So this is the multi-chrome. I don't see much, so this is going to be interesting. Here is the black liner. Now, like I said, the multi-chrome is like a silvery blue kind of purple. I guess you can see it a little bit better right there. This I'm going to pop in my waterline. And then the black is very creamy, very pigmented, but it was actually broken. A piece of the liner just broke off. So I don't know how much of the black is left in the liner pencil, but we are going to go ahead and use that today as well. And I'm really excited about this. I picked this up with the little mini Ensley Rain 6-pan Wildlife palette that came out. I've always wanted the Cosmic Dreamer palette. It was on sale, and then I added it to my order to get free shipping. I'm so excited to test this out. This is one of their original palettes, and then they revised this and revamped this. It is absolutely beautiful. All of the pans are magnetic. We've got so many fun colors in here. The top row is more pink leaning, and then we've got a little bit orangey leaning row for the second row. These murky, muddy greens in the third row, and then some browns, baby poop greens greens in the 4th row, and this beautiful row of cool toned blues with some black. This palette, as expected, because it's Ensley Rain swatched, absolutely beautiful. The shimmers definitely are the shining star in this palette, but the matte swatch, really pretty as well. This is a very inclusive palette. I mean, it's really the only colorful palette you would need if you do want a smaller curated collection, because you've got blues, greens, pinks, oranges, and neutrals. So you can pretty much create multiple looks with this palette. I'm excited to try this as a neutral palette. I'm excited to create monochromatic looks, more colorful looks. I am wearing this kind of teal shirt today, so I'm probably going to focus on these bottom rows today. I just am really excited to test this out. Ensley Rain makes such an amazing formula. I can't wait to put this on my eyes. So those are the 5 makeup products we're testing out today. Let me zoom you in and let's talk about the Ciate setting powder. So this is the translucent setting powder I use to set my base makeup today. Now I've done all of my base. I've even done my powder bronzer. At first I was like, boy, that's white. I was really afraid that it was going to deliver a white cast, but honestly, it sunk really nicely into the skin. I'm interested to see how this looks once I set my face with setting spray, once I finish my powder products. But first impression of this, I actually like it. Now, I remember reading the reviews when I unboxed this, and a lot of them said it had a white cast. I don't really notice that. I think it looks pretty translucent on my skin. So first impression wise, I'm impressed. Now let's go ahead and do some blush for the day. This pink I think is too light for me, so I'm going to pull in the little deeper pink shade. Okay, that's pretty. That's actually prettier than I thought it was going to be. It is not very pigmented. I do have to reach into it quite a few times to get some color payoff, which honestly is a bit abnormal for Ofra. But once I get the color picked up on my brush, that is actually really pretty. We also have the highlighter, and I have the Natasha Denona highlighter. So I'm going to do one cheek with the Ofra highlighter, one cheek with the Natasha Denona. So let's go ahead and start with the Ofra highlighter. It's in the shade Pillow Talk. The shade names are on the back of the palette. Ooh, as expected, that is really pretty. Ofra's highlight formula is honestly, in my opinion, the best product that Ofra puts out. That is really, really beautiful. And then let's do the Natasha Denona highlighter on this cheek. Ooh, that's actually pretty too. All right, so Ofra Pillow Talk, Natasha Denona Plexi Glow. Definitely more pink leaning, obviously, definitely more gold leaning. I think they both look really, really pretty on the skin. I will say the Natasha Denona definitely sinks into the skin a little bit better than the Ofra. This still looks very beautiful. It doesn't look like it's sitting on my skin, but the Natasha Denona definitely sinks into the skin a bit better, but both of these are absolutely beautiful. Let me go ahead and set my face with some setting spray, get these powder products to sink in. I'll go ahead and prime my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly, and we'll test out the Cosmic Dreamer palette. So here's all the complexion products after setting spray. It looks really nice. Definitely that Pillow Talk sunk in a little bit more, as well as the Natasha Denona. This definitely looks more natural than this, but they're both very, very beautiful. Kind of depends on your preference for highlighter. Do you like a Scene from Space highlight, or do you like something a little bit more natural? Now, I'm sure we could build up this Natasha Denona to be Scene from Space, but the Ofra is just gonna instantly give you that Scene from Space look. I'm so excited to test this palette out, so excited. Now, this is a pretty deep, dark palette. There's only a few light mattes, which we've got this pink, this kind of taupey shade, and then this green. The rest of them are mid-tone or deep. So I'm actually going to pick up this shade here to set my eyeshadow primer and serve as my transition. And that is the shade, and that's the shade Anti-Matter. So I'm going to pick that up on a fluffy brush, pop that into my crease, a little bit above my crease, and even onto my lid. And again, that's just going to serve as my transition shade and set my eyeshadow base. This is really pretty. It's kind of a gray purple. I really like it. It's a unique shade, and it's applying beautifully. It's very, very pigmented, easy to blend out. Then I'm going to pick up up this mid-tone blue shade called Astral Body, and I'm going to focus that right in my crease. Not going above my crease, staying in my crease. I do want that really pretty transition shade to poke out the top, and this is basically just going to add a little bit of depth and deepen up my crease. That's one tap into this shade. Wow, this is really, really pretty. And again, back and forth with that windshield wiper motion. And then with an angled brush, I'm going into the dark teal shade called Wild Hearted, and I'm going to use that to deepen up my outer corner. Oh, that's so beautiful. Wow. That is such a pretty shade. It is a dead-on match to my shirt, which honestly was kind of what I was going for. These mattes are going on beautifully. They're layering beautifully. There's no patchiness. I just can't believe the pigmentation that I'm getting out of these mattes. And then going back into our transition shade, I'm just going to use that to kind of blend, diffuse, and buff out those edges. As always, some NYX glitter primer on the lids so we can test out these gorgeous shimmers. As always, we're going to do a shimmer with a finger and a brush so we can test out application method, but I've got to use this multi-chrome here called Lunar Storm. Looking at it in my viewfinder, it's teal. Looking at it from the side, it's purple. This is such a stunningly beautiful shade, and I'm actually going to place that all over my lid with the exception of my inner corner. Oh, wow. Stop it, Ensley Rain. Whoa. That is absolutely gorgeous. Look at how absolutely stunning that is. Wow, mind blown. And with a flat brush, I'm picking up this green shade in the middle called Lucidity, and I'm going to put that right on the inner portion and pull that over to meet that teal shade. Oh my goodness, these are so beautiful. My mind is always blown with Ensley Rain shimmers. And then I'm going to pick up this black base shade here called Cosmic Dust on my brush, and I'm just going to place that right on the outer edge. Oh wow, that's pretty. Closest to that deep dark matte we have in the outer corner. Again, that's just going to add a little bit of sparkle, but also really deepen and darken up that outer corner. And then on my lower lash line, I'm going to pick up this beautiful cobalt blue shade called Neptune, and I'm going to buff that on my lower lash line, staying pretty close to my lash line, kind of like if I'm using it as a liner. I love it. Okay, now going into Milky Way, which is this white kind of matte with shimmer. It's an interesting shade. I'm going to pop that on my inner corner. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty. That's like I said, a matte with a little bit of shimmer. So it kind of looks like I have a matte inner corner, which I'm not mad about. I'm definitely not mad about it, especially with all the sparkle we have on our lids from these shimmers. Love this eye look. Okay, now we're gonna test out these liners. So this is that multi-chrome that's a little bit silver leaning. I'm curious how this is going to perform in the waterline. Okay, this is actually really pretty in the waterline. Much better on the eyes than the swatch. That's actually really pretty. It adds a little bit of brightness to my waterline. Now, typically I'm a liquid liner girl, as you know, but I wanna test out the black liner. I'm nervous because it already broke, so I'm going to be a little bit careful with this, but I'm going to go ahead and line my lash line. Yeah, this is nice. This is really creamy. And I'm gonna pull it out just to draw a tiny little wing. I really like the black. The black liner is very creamy, very pigmented. This I really like. So let me go ahead and do some mascara, my brows, pop on a lippy, basically finish getting ready for the day. I just did my run for my 10K training, so I need to go ahead and finish getting ready for the day, and then I'll be back and we'll share some thoughts on this testing new makeup. So here's the completed look for today in this testing new makeup. Let's go over some thoughts on everything we tested out today. First, let's start with the Ciate London Translucent Setting Powder. Like I said, I like this. I think my skin looks good. I don't see any white cast on my skin. It set my makeup in place. I like this. Is this the best powder I've ever tried? No. Is it good? Absolutely. And I'm excited to have it, and I will continue to use it. Now the little Ofra palette, I like this okay. I think the blush is okay. It's a pretty color. It definitely took some building up. I think this lighter pink shade would take a lot of building up on my skin tone. The highlighter is really beautiful, as expected, from Ofra. Is this something that I think I'm going to reach for a lot? Probably not. Will this stay in my collection? That's debatable, but I do want to use it a few more times, test it out, really give it a thorough testing before I decide whether or not I want to declutter. But I don't think that this is as good as some of the other Ofra palettes and other blushes and highlighters I've tried. Well, actually, I take that back. The highlighter is normal. It's the normal Ofra, but the blushes, they're just not that great. And the packaging, like I said, is a little on the cheapy side. Now, the Natasha Denona highlighter, I think, is really beautiful if you like a more natural highlight. I prefer a more seen from space highlight. So I would definitely go back into this, build this up, try to get it a little bit more bold, because this is a little on the natural side for me. I don't think this highlighter is anything special per se. It is pretty much a gold leaning highlighter. It's definitely not the multi-chrome that you would think based on the photos. It's nice quality though. It's expensive at $42. I definitely would not pay $42 for this. Now, I do have a discount for the Natasha Denona website if you're interested in picking this up. The last time I was on her website, it was on sale. So maybe between the sale price and my discount, it would be worth picking up. I just definitely would not pay full price for it. I actually like these liners better than I thought that I was going to like them. I think the multi-chrome is actually really pretty in my waterline. It's a silver, so it's light and bright, and it adds a bit of brightness to my pretty deep look. And the black liner I really like. I'm pretty bummed that it was broken, that it broke so quickly, because it's very creamy, very smooth, very pigmented on the eyes. These I like a lot better than I thought that I was going to. And the palette, the Cosmic Dreamer, is absolutely insanely gorgeous. As expected, I didn't show you there's a little star-shaped mirror, but this palette is stunning. This, like I said, is a well-rounded palette. There's a little bit of everything, so many different looks that you can create, and these shimmers, just stop with these shimmers. They're insane, and the mattes are absolutely beautiful. I'm really glad I picked this up. It's a palette I've been eyeing for quite a while. I got it on a good deal, added it to my cart for free shipping. Love my eye look. Can't wait to play with this more. I can't recommend Ensley enough. I just think they have an amazing, amazing, amazing formula. So I am so excited to have this as part of my collection. So overall, this was a really good testing new makeup. The only thing I wasn't that excited about was some of the blushes in the Ofra palette. And like I said, the Natasha Denona highlighter, it's pretty, it's not worth $42. So if you can get it on a sale, I think it would be worth it. And like I said, I do have a discount for the Natasha Denona website. The liners, the translucent powder, the Ensley Rain palette, oh, everything else, amazing. This was a good testing new makeup, and I will have everything linked down below for you. Again, thank you so much for using my links. Let me know your thoughts. Do you have any of these products? Did you get these in your subscription boxes? Are you wanting to grab things like the Cosmic Dreamer palette? Let me know down below. I'll also have my favorite beauty subscription boxes, all of the other makeup that I'm wearing today if you would like to shop this look, discounts to my favorite indie brands, and come follow me on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. I'm feeling like I'm looking pretty good today, and that's a wrap on this testing new makeup.